Ryan Becker, Persuasive speech. Last year during my AP Comp class, we decided to take a class field trip, and this was a little bit after school, but we decided to sit in on a city council meeting. And during the city council meeting, they discussed a lot of different things, but the one thing that stuck out to me was this very long, heated discussion about what to do with a certain community member who had a very dirty yard. They didn't quite know what to do with him because they saw him quite dangerous, and there's a lot of things going on with his property. There were cars, I think some trailers, and even a pig roaming around everywhere. The city had no idea what to do, and it dragged on forever and ever. The discussion was at least 30 minutes, and I don't think it really went anywhere in the end. And so on the way back, I thought, the city really needs to do something about stuff like this. They can't just have this going on forever, because people are going to see this and think, oh, I could do this as well. So I did some research on it, and I found that there are some other cities in the US that have some really good policies on this. And I think that the city of Marengo needs to adopt a new policy on how to deal with junkyards. And before we go into the policies I think we should have, I think we should go into some of the effects that junkyards can have on people. And first one that I found is, according to a paper by James Krieger and Donna L. Higgins, pest infestations are very common in areas that are more dirty and really in dirty yards. And pest infestations can lead to a lot of things. They can destroy property values, and they bring diseases like rats. They can carry a lot of really bad things, mosquito, like all the flies, all that stuff. And so it can really affect the health of a neighborhood. And another thing, it can just really bring down the mood of the community. Imagine you're coming home from a long day at work, not having a good day, and then you come home, you look to your right outside your house, and you just see a hunk of mess. People don't like seeing dirty stuff, and so just having that mess there is going to bring down the overall mood of the community. And lastly, according to an article by the Seattle Times and real estate broker Mike Scahan, property values are really affected by junk yards in the neighborhood. According to Mike, property values can be brought down by as much as 10%, and that can really affect people trying to sell their houses, and really affects the market for people buying houses. And so, we obviously don't want any of those effects happening. So, the policy that I think we should add is the city of San Diego on their website. I think I read, and they had a pretty decent policy. And basically, what it is when someone makes a complaint about a property, they send someone, whether it be some sort of city official or a cop down, depending on the situation. They send someone down to assess the property and see what's going on. And from there, they go back and discuss it with other people, and they discuss what ways to take the situation. And usually they find a date the person needs to have the property cleaned up by, and what they need to have cleaned up. Then they come back in on that day, check what's going on, and if it hasn't been cleaned up, they have a few different options they can take. Some of the options could be, like it says, daily fines, and they say it could be up to $10,000. I don't know how practical it is in Marengo, but daily fines are definitely an option. Then another thing, they bring in third parties to clean the garbage if it's too dirty. If the person's not going to clean it up, it needs to get cleaned up somehow, and the third party comes in and cleans it up, and they usually is at the expense of the owner of the property. And lastly, if they're a dangerous individual or is just not getting anything done, they usually have jail time as an option as well. And so, I think the community would see a lot of benefits really quickly from this. For example, it'll look better. You're not going to have all this dirty stuff laying around. And it's just, like I said, it's going to bring up the mood of people. And also, the problem is dealt with quickly. You don't have we're not going to have many complaints on it. The city of Marengo is not going to have people calling them and saying, hey, this person has a dirty house and stuff like that. And lastly, it's going to help people trying to sell their houses. The property values are going to shoot up, and you're going to have a larger buying market because people are going to be in a better community to buy stuff from. And so I think, in my opinion, it's a win-win for both the city and the city members. And that's why I think that Marengo should have this new policy to deal with dirty yards in a more efficient manner and do it, just strike it down right away. There'll be less eyesores in the community, and it'll just be better looking overall, and with a better community, you're going to have happier people and a more productive people. And that's why I think this policy should be brought up.